So I'll read the shloka. Bhagavad Gita, 5th chapter, 22nd Sloka. What I'll do is I'll read first initially word by word so that Satish and others, you can just follow the English version you see, and then we will read it in a tune. Yeah. Ye hi samsparasha ja bhoga. Now you see the Hindi version of it. Ye hi samsparsha ja bhoga. Second line, English version I'm reading. Dukkha yonaya evate. Now we look into the Sanskrit version. Dukkha yonaya evate. Okay. I'm reading the English version, third line. Adi antavanta kaunteya. Now you see when we read the Sanskrit version, how it will change the tune. Adhyanta banta kaunteya. You see, because we know the language, we know how to read this word now. When we look only here, it makes a difference. You see, Adi, the moment you send, then you will wait. Adi antavanta kaunteya. But once you see here, you know that this is all one word only. Adhyantavanta kaunteya. Then it becomes easy. Yeah, kaunteya. Na, English I'm reading. Na tesu ramate buddha. Now when I'm looking into the Sanskrit version, na teshu. You see, here if you read in English, we might read it as su sometimes because we don't understand this connotation. Correct? We don't understand this connotation and we will read it as na tesu instead of saying it as na teshu. So that is why we are finding that difference. Okay. Now I'm reading the verse, please. Okay. ये हि संस्पर्शजा भोगा
ये हि
स्पर्शजा
भोगा
ये हि संस्पर्शजा भोगा
ये हि संस्पर्शजा भोगा
दुःखयोनय एव ते
दुःखयोनय एव ते
दुःखयोनय एव ते
दुःखयोनय एव
ते आद्यन्तवन्तः कौन्तेय
आद्यन्तवन्तः कौन्तेय
आद्यन्तवन्तः कौन्तेय
आद्यन्तवन्तः कौन्तेय
न तेषु रमते बुधः
न तेषु रमते
बुधः
न तेषु रमते बुधः
न तेषु रमते बुधः.
Okay, so what we will do is madam has got a very nice voice and very nice tune, so I would request only madam to read and we will just listen. You see, it will be so pleasant to our ears when she is singing. I'm sure about that. Madam, may I request you to please read it? We will just listen.
Yes sir, I will. ये हि संस्पर्शजा भोगा दुःखयोनय एव ते आद्यन्तवन्तः कौन्तेय न तेषु रमते बुधः. I read again. ये हि संस्पर्शजा भोगा दुःखयोनय एव ते आद्यन्तवन्तः कौन्तेय न तेषु रमते बुधः.
Very nice. Actually, we can take your voice as a professional rendering recording also, ma'am. It'll be very nice. It's very nice. It's sounding very nice, ma'am. Okay, Satish, you want to try? We will just listen. Satish, you want to try? So we don't repeat at the back.
Okay. ये हि संस्पर्शजा भोगा दुःखयोनय एव ते आद्यान्तः कौन्तेय न तेषु रमते बुद्धः.
You want to give it a try again? It is Adyanta Vantaha.
आद्यन्तवन्तः
Yeah, that's right.
ये हि संस्पर्शजा भोगा ये हि संस्पर्शजा भोगा दुःखयोनय एव ते आद्यान्तवन्तः कौन्तेय न तेषु रमते बुद्धः.
Yes. Anand, Madhu, you want to try?
ये हि संस्पर्शजा भोगा दुःखयोन एव ते आद्यन्तवन्तः कौन्तेय नातेषु रमते बुधः.
Very nice. Yeah. Sandeep or Anand?
Yeah. ये हि संस्पर्शजा भोगा दुःखयोनय एव ते आद्यन्तवन्तः कौन्तेय न तेषु रमते बुधः.
Nice. So I'll read the synonyms. Synonyms: ye, those; he, certainly; samsparshaja, by contact with the material senses; bhogaha, enjoyments; dukkhaha, distress; yonayaha, source of; eva, certainly; te, they are; adi, beginning; anta, end; vantah, subject to; kaunteya, O son of Kunti; na, never; teshu, in those; ramate, take delight; buddha, the intelligent persons. Translation: an intelligent person does not take part in the sources of misery, which are due to contact with the material senses. O son of Kunti, such pleasures have a beginning and an end, and so the wise man does not delight in them. Purport, who would like to read it?
Satish or Anand?
Yeah. Material sense
So,
pleasures.
can I request all others to mute so that there is no disturbance when Anand is reading? Okay. I'm also muting myself.
Material sense pleasures are due to the contact of the material senses, which are all temporary because the body itself is temporary. Okay. A liberated soul is not interested in anything which is temporary. Knowing well the joys of transcendental pleasures, how can a liberated soul agree to enjoy false pleasure? In the Padma Purana, it is said, Ramante yogino anante satyanande chidatmani iti rama pade nashau param brahma abhidiyate. The mystics derive unlimited transcendental pleasure from the absolute truth, and therefore the supreme absolute truth, the personality of Godhead, is also known as Rama. In the Srimad Bhagavatam, 5th canto, 5th chapter, 1st verse, it is said, Nayam deho deha bajam indra loke kashtan kaman arhate with bujam ye tapo divyam putraka yena sattvam shuddhayed yasmad brahma saukyam tva anantam. My dear sons, there is no reason to labor very hard for sense pleasure while in this human form of life, such pleasures are available to the stool eaters, hogs. Rather, you should undergo penances in this life by which your existence will be purified, and as a result, you will be able to enjoy unlimited transcendental bliss. Therefore, those who are true yogis or learned transcendentalists are not attracted by sense pleasures, which are the cause of continuous material existence. The more one is addicted to material pleasures, the more he is entrapped by material miseries.
Dr. Sujatakaru, you would like to add some points? You're welcome.
Yes, sir. I was just writing down on one side. See, actually, the organs, the indriyas, are five in number. There are five sense organs, and even among the five sense organs, they operate in two ways. In the case of sense of hearing and the sense of smell, the material objects come on its own accord to the sense organs. But in the case of the other three, namely the sense of touch, the sense of seeing, and the sense of taste, it is the sense organ that reaches the object. But in the case of all the sense organs, there is something in common, that it is the manas which plays an important part. It is not the sense organs that are actually tempted, it is the mind which has the sense organ, or which is the controlling factor of all these sense organs. That is the matter. So now that we have cleaned these sense organs to give a kind of an enjoyment, like giving a tasty food, giving some good music and such thing, we have trained those sense organs. In case if we feed those sense organs in a different way, that is what I think is the purpose of this. See, the how you hear the
We
chanting,
lost you
it's
in
not audible.
between.
Not audible.
Suddenly, now it is audible, but
Yeah.
for half a second, half a minute, we lost you.
Yes. Okay. So it is those Buddha, namely the wise people, they have learned the art of feeding these sense organs in the way that it is diverted to chanting the name of God, listening to the words of God, and having a sparsha of divine things. So that way, they have diverted the, or in other words, the feeders that are given these sense organs are something divine, so that they are fed at the same time. The mind is, because the mind cannot keep quiet. The mind is something which has to be fed with things, and now the through the sense organs are fed with objects of material objects. So diverting from the material object, once when the intelligent people, they if they learn the method to feed these sense organs, I'm sure slowly they can elevate their level, and though not reaching the feet of God, at least to some extent they can realize that these are not the feeders of these sense organs. Yes, sir.
Yeah, nice, ma'am. I'll try to put some of my comments on this particular shloka. Bhagavad Gita, 5th chapter, 22nd Sloka. Just to bring the awareness that this Bhagavad Gita, 5th chapter, is talking about Karma Sannyasa Yoga. And in this particular shloka, Bhagavan is offering us a method and a technique. A method and a technique, this one is specifically talking about how we can seek happiness, how we can constantly be in a state of happiness, with contrast to being in a wavy nature of ups and downs of the distress. What is the method and technique in which we will be able to come out of our distress? We will be able to come out of our dissatisfaction. We will be able to come out of our unhappiness and be in a constant state of happiness. So that is what is the core Bhagwan is trying to offer in this shloka, Bhagavad Gita 5.22. He is offering a technique and a method. So before this particular technique and method can be explained or further we can understand this, I would like to bring your attention to this point that we as human beings in this limited body are basically animals, and we are goal seeking animals. We are trying to seek a kind of a goal in terms of satisfying our wants and needs in search of being happy. So fundamentally, core, when we look a little bit deep dive, we will see that we are trying to pursue happiness. Why? Because from the time of the birth and the journey we have made throughout until where we are standing today, we have lost the pure consciousness and we are tainted with the Maya. We have lost our purity and we started acquiring the knowledge through these various jnanendriyas, which are the pancha jnanendriyas, which already we have discussed previously. These pancha jnanendriyas are associated with the pancha karmendriyas. So constantly we are deriving knowledge, or we are trying to derive our kind of activities, or we are trying to derive a sense of satisfaction or happiness through these panchendriyas and panchajnanendriyas. But one important thing which is beyond these panchajnanendriyas is the manas, which is actually controlling the panchajnanendriyas. It is the one which is directing, like Dr. Sujata Garu has rightly pointed out, the sixth sense, which is the manas. Beyond this, panchajnanendriyas is the manas. In English, we call it as the mind. So we got to understand that we have to habituate this mind. How it has to be habituated is what Bhagwan is offering very nicely, a tip and a technique in this Bhagavad Gita Shloka 5.22, where he is very clearly saying that the Buddha, that is the intelligent person. Now, the quality of this intelligent person has been previously also highlighted in the Sankhya Yoga, that this person has the ability of discrimination. A person who is called as an intelligent person is a person with ability of discrimination. Now, this intelligent person, or whom we call as a Buddha here, which is with buddhi, the person who is having the buddhi is called as a Buddha. So this particular person is an intelligent person with discriminating ability. He is also called as a Brahmana, because this particular person has the ability to understand and discriminate the materialistic pleasures from the supreme Parabrahman, Satchit Ananda happiness. So he is able to discriminate. Example, when we take a particular material senses, say for example, each of these material senses, when we are getting in contact of the enjoyments, what are these enjoyments? Say for example, if I'm eating food, I constantly eat food. How much can I eat at one time? My stomach will say it is sufficient, enough already. Now I see a movie, for example. How much can I see? I'll see 3 hours, 4 hours, 5 hours. After some time I say I want to rest. It's done. I cannot see it. Okay, I see one movie for the first time. It's wow, fantastic. What a movie! Can I see it second time? For my friend, yes. For my friend, maybe I will go a second time. A third time, if it is a girlfriend, maybe we will go. But if it is not, then we will say, "Arey, do bar already dekh chuka hu." Okay, you are a fan. How many times will you see? 20 times, 30 times, 50 times. After that, we start getting bored for a period of time. We don't want to do that. Even if you say, "Arey, my bahut bar dekh chuka hu main. I don't want to watch it anymore." Same is the case with any kind of an action. Sometimes nowadays, if you see the professionals also, they say, "Arey, I'm bugged up, working constantly the same thing. I'm getting bored." So we tend to lose a kind of a taste in a particular materialistic enjoyment, which has given so much of enjoyment in the beginning. but after certain period of time, that pleasure, that kind of an enjoyment rasa, which is that it has given at the first instance, it will not give the second instance, third instance, fourth instance, or nth instance after some time. Whereas this intelligent person who is there, he knows how to discriminate. He knows how to discriminate. He knows how to train the sources of this particular receiving of the jnanendriyas, controlling his manas. He knows that how to differentiate the distress kind of a enjoyments. What is the enjoyment which after certain period of time might cause a kind of a distress? This intelligent person knows about it. Now, Bhagwan is very clearly saying this is the quality of an intelligent person. He knows that the more he is indulging himself in the materialistic senses and he gets in contact with these materialistic senses, certainly this will be the root cause for his distress, very certainly. Because at the beginning, it gives a kind of a pleasure, but after certain time, that pleasure in that material sense is lost. Whereas Bhagwan is now qualifying another statement of this intelligent person. He says that the intelligent person takes delight in such kind of an subject or materialist, not in the materialistic senses. He takes delight in such kind of an enjoyment which is in the form of Satchit Ananda. He trains his Pancha Jnanendriyas in such a way that he is knows what is the value of control, what is the value of discipline. He trains his mind that this is what I have to take it. I must be able to differentiate that this materialistic sense object will give me pleasure only to this particular period of time and nothing beyond that. Thus, this intelligent person starts his journey seeking to delight in such kind of an enjoyment where it stands for permanent. It only increases his happiness from time to time, from sadhana to sadhana, from level 1 to level 2 to level 3 to level 4 to level n kind of a consciousness. This intelligent person starts taking delight in such kind of sadhanas, in such kind of sources of happiness which lead him into Satchit Ananda, a kind of a permanent absolute truth and happiness. He will stay in such kind of choices. A classical example, say for example, we are listening to certain particular song. I am sharing my example. After certain period of time, I'll think, okay, I will listen to this Hindi song or that Hindi song, but after some time I will again come back and then see listen to a bhajan. Either it could be a Krishna Stuti, or it could be a Ram Stuti, or it could be a Shiva Stuti, or it could be something. I am starting to derive more and more uh, peace, more and more happiness, more and more stability in my mind when I'm doing these kind of activities compared to the rest of the other songs which I used to love one point in time. I'm enjoying it more and more from moment to moment, from day by day. This pleasure is increasing. The more I listen, the more I am entering into the depth of it. The more I am chanting, the more I'm entering into the depth of it. The more I'm doing a kind of an activity for the society without any kind of an expectation in within me, the more I am able to do such kind of an activities. More and more I'm seeking more and more pleasure, more and more happiness in such kind of divine activities. That is the technique which Bhagwan is offering, that these wise men, the intelligent people with the discriminating ability, are able to take and reduce their miseries. This shloka, Bhagavad Gita 5.22, is offering the ability to differentiate and discriminate between which kind of an materialistic enjoyment, shows or takes us into distress, and what kind of a knowledge and what kind of activities take us into the constant state of Satchit Ananda. With this, I close my comments. The time is 9:31. So if any other thought processes, please do continue your discussion. Thank you.
Oh, Niru, well said, well conveyed.
Sure. Thank you.
Very well said, Guru.
Yeah.
Very well
Thank you.
conveyed with our, as usual, you very confine yourself with the daily practical life which we are leading. You are blessed, and we are also blessed to hear from you.
Blessed.
You very well confined and said in a very well, and as usual, Anand explains it in a very broad spectrum, and the same thing is conveyed by you in a confined way.
Yeah.
Both are very well speakers. Thanks, and we are also blessed to listen from you, both of you.
Madam also had given very good positive inputs.
Yes.
Yes.
That's right. Actually, what I'm seeing is this, that the presence of Madam is also adding a lot of value in our discussions. Very
Yeah.
important points she's bringing out, because she comes from that Sanskrit background, and she has done a lot of research in these scriptures. She has been blessed with such kind of an environment. So her inputs also will be giving us a lot of deeper insights, is what I'm expecting. Ma'am
Right.
Sujata Garu, Dr. Sujata Garu.
Sir, to tell the truth, I've lost touch with, or I've lost the thread of all these some 20 years ago.
Okay.
After getting inside the job, my arena has changed. I think this new one, for the past 2 months, I'm having a new life, or I would say a new connect to both Upanishads as well as all these, which I learned long ago as a student. I would say as a student, I learned better, but not as a teacher.
That's nice, ma'am. So you are doing your second journey both as a student and as a teacher. That's nice now.
It is more a student journey
Nice.
for me.
I really appreciate. So actually, Manaku, takeaway from this fifth chapter, 22nd Sloka, is very important, because we constantly we got to be in that awareness of discriminating ability.
Yes, sir.
Constantly we got to be in that
Yes, sir.
awareness. What am I
We
seeking?
call it as
Materialistic
a viveka.
viveka. That's right,
We
ma'am.
call that as a viveka.
Yeah. In fact, the right word above the viveka is the prajna, which is going to come into that. Prajnanam is what is going to come in into that particular aspect, along with viveka. Viveka is talking about the discipline, but the higher word for that, what I have understood, is prajna.
Prajna.
So prajna. So we have to work towards prajna. So definitely that is the stage which we will be working on. But this is a very important shloka, because when I'm eating a food or when I'm doing an activity, every time I have to bring my awareness, my discriminating ability, and then say, this is only a transient one. This particular pleasure is only going to be there for
Yes,
certain
sir.
time. So I have to make a conscious decision, a conscious choice of what is that one which is going to give me a permanent kind of a happiness, because we are animals, we are goal seeking animals, and we are seeking that happiness, the Satchit Ananda. So that's the journey we got to travel. Yeah. Nice.
Yes, sir. Earlier verses, sir.
Can
Yes, sir. Can I have the earlier shlokas that you have already completed? Because I joined little late.
Sure, I'll share
YouTube
the
ఉంది కదా
YouTube
నేను.
links. నేను share
Yeah.
చేస్తాను, ma'am. I'll share the links with you. The earlier ones,
Yes.
whatever we have recorded,
Yes,
I'll
sir.
try to share it with you, ma'am.
Okay.
I'll share the
Yes,
links.
sir.
Yeah, sure. I'll do that.
Okay.